Children, and I am going to start or continue the topic computer system of class 9th. Last time we are going through the primary memory and cover the topic RAM. Why it is known as primary memory? Because it is the memory where the content, whether the instruction or the data or after processing process data reaches first, then towards output device. That's why it is known as primary memory. First, we can say that it is just like our mind or brain. We have covered RAM. What is the properties of RAM? RAM is RAM is volatile memory. To save the content of the memory RAM, we have to use UPS, which is uninterrupted power supply, through which we can save our data which is contained in RAM. We have learned about two types of RAM. One is static RAM and another is dynamic RAM. Static RAM is the RAM part of RAM which contains the process till the execution or any accident. And dynamic RAM, it contains the sub process of any process. RAM contains all the processes which are appeared for the processing, and dynamic RAM contains sub part or sub process of the current process. Continuously its refresh rate is higher, so continuously whatever is in dynamic RAM changes frequently than the static RAM. Static RAM, everything is remained there until the processed or accidentally lost. Now second part of primary memory is ROM. ROM is read-only memory. RAM is known as random access memory or read-write memory, and ROM is read-only memory. Why it is known as read-only memory? Because user cannot work in it. So what is the use of ROM? ROM contains all those instructions which are needed for the make system ready to work. So because of ROM, system becomes ready to work, and because of RAM, everything performed by the user. But for starting, ROM is needed because it contains all those instructions which are needed to make the system ready to work, and the instructions which are stored in ROM is known as firmware. Firmware is set of instructions which contains all those instructions, combination of instruction which contains all those instructions which are ready to which are used to make system ready to work so firmware firmware is a system software which contains all those instructions which are required for making system ready to work. That's why it is known as read-only memory. It's worked till the execution, till the appearance of the process. It makes the system ready to work. That's why it is known as ROM. It contains form. Form is combination of different instructions. There are different instructions, and the process which make the system ready to work is known as booting. So you can say the firmware is a software which makes system ready to work, and when any system the instructions process which make the system ready to work is known as booting. So firmware contains all those instructions which are ready to which are used to make system ready to work, and the process is known as booting. So now there are different types of ROM. ROM is instruction in ROM is generated by the manufacturer. For this, chip level programming is there, where chip level designing in general Bangalore or Hyderabad, chip level programming are there. So through ROM, through laser technique, instructions are written on the silicon chip, and because of that it is not readable, or it is not for writable. So ROM, first is ROM. ROM is read-only memory. You cannot write anything in it, and only manufacturer can write in it. And because of laser beam, because writing is performed through the laser beam on the silicon chip. After that, PROM developed. What is the PROM? PROM is programmable ROM. What is the meaning of programmable ROM? Means you can add instruction. Manufacturer can add instruction but cannot remove the existing one. So it is known as PROM. Then develop EPROM. EPROM for erasable programmable ROM. Means you can erase or add new instructions. Next is EPROM, means electrically erasable programmable ROM. So here erasing or writing performed through electrically instead of laser beam. It is also known as flash memory or flash ROM. So EEPROM is a memory in which eraser or a program or instruction written through the electrical method. It is also known as flash memory. Now it is all about the primary memory. And next part of the CPU, I have told that ROM primary memory is not the part of CPU. It is just a cabinet in which these units are resides. Next is processor or microprocessor. What is the meaning of processor or microprocessor? Processor is a device which is used to perform the different processing. Means millions or trillions instructions performed through the processor. Because of its small size, it is known as microprocessor, because of its size is very small. It consists of CU and ALU. Microprocessor contains CU and ALU. CUE, what is CU? CU is control unit, and ALU is arithmetic and logical unit, means all the mathematical and logical work performed in this unit. Or you can say in general we are saying that CPU is brain of computer system, but actual brain is ALU. If there are different options there, then and both CPU and ALU there, then you have to write ALU, because actually processing performed in ALU, and that particular is CPU. We have learned earlier, it is just a cabinet in which different devices are stored. Now processor or microprocessor is combination of CU and ALU. They are aligned in the silicon chip in form of ICs. ICs, what is ICs? IC is integrated circuit. So here microprocessor is a combination of CU and ALU. which are arranged on silicon chip in form of ICs. IC is for integrated circuit. Now what is integrated circuit? Simple circuit means simple combination of wires. Then transistor. What is transistors? Transistor is number of circuits on the single chip. And what is the IC? IC is combination of transistors. So in ICs, number of you can say thousands of transistors are arranged in it. Because of that, different tasks can be performed. So there are different companies nowadays. One is Intel, but earlier company was Motorola, and Intel are the companies which manufacture the processors. And the popular series of the Intel are 8088. These are series number 8086, 80286, 80386, 80486. then उसके बाद then Pentium series appears. Instead of 586, Pentium series appear nowadays. It is I. Nowadays I series is here, i7, i5, i3. But Motorola is now obsolete. Instead of Motorola, different popular companies use the Intel processors. And one more thing in processor, I am saying that processing perform in ALU and CU control the traffic of the data and instructions, and processing perform through the ALU. But how can you say that how can you say processing performed without use of any memory? Is it possible to perform any operation without any memory or any space or any storage? Or we are known that RAM is not primary memory is not the part of processor. So how can processing can perform without memory? So for processing memory in processor known as register. Register is a memory which is used for processing in ALU, or you can say there are different registers reside on the microprocessor for the handling the different process or sub process. You can say register is the memory of processor. Register is the memory of the processor. Because of register, different processing can be performed through the ALU. Actually, processing performed in ALU, but without space, without memory, nothing can be performed. So registers are used to perform the provide the space for the processing, and processing perform in ALU. Clear? Now one more thing is nowadays different types of RAMs are available. We can say we have available 4 GB. We know that measurement of capacity of the system. We know that 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. We know that, and 1 byte or 1 character. 8 bits is equal to 1 byte or 1 character. Similarly, 1024 bytes make 1 KB. Why 1024? Not 100, because kilobyte means kilo, we know that the kilobyte when 10 to power 3, but here not 10 to power 3. Why it is? Because in decimal number system, the measurement in base 10 and here base is 2. So because of 2 to power 10 means it is 1024. 1024 byte is equal to 1 kb, then 1024 kb is equal to 1 MB, then 1024 MB is equal to 1 TB, and 1024 TB is equal to 1 PB, etc. Last is Zolta, Zeta, etc. These are the measurement unit. Now we have learned that nowadays 4 GB RAM is here. So only with the help of 4 GB RAM your work can be fast? No. There is one more thing in processor that was left, is clock. Processor, one more thing is left in processor, that whatever the processor, there is attached a clock, and different processors perform with the through the ticks of the clock. Means number of ticks, higher the ticks means processing speed is higher. If number of ticks are less, then processing speed will be less. And its measurement is it perform in hertz. Its frequency is measured in hertz, and it work according to the number of ticks. Means different devices are synchronizes. Different devices or processors are synchronizes according to the number of ticks. Means higher ticks means they can synchronize very fast. If number of ticks are less, then they can synchronize in less time, and it is measured in hertz. Suppose processor, suppose P4, and one more thing, either one P4. Now it is 2.8 gigahertz, and its clock speed is 3.1 gigahertz. Both processors are P4, but here clock speed is 2.8 gigahertz and here 3.1 gigahertz. Which type of processor make the work fast? This or this? Both are P4, but processing speed will higher in this, because here clock speed is 3.1 gigahertz and here clock speed is lesser than that. Because of it, it's this processor will process in fast speed. Clear? So everything depend on not on the processor, depends on the clock speed which is attached with the processor. So processing speed depends on the clock speed. If number of devices or process perform synchronizes with the fast speed, then processing will be fast, otherwise it will be slow, even the whatever the process. Now my one more question. Suppose processor fast, memory high. So only if suppose processor is very fast but memory is low, means lower capacity, then when what will the speed of the processor? It is very fast, it is i7, and memory is low. Is processing fast? No. because memory is low, whatever the processing speed, but if memory capacity is less, then process will be not fast. Now suppose it is of high memory, suppose it is 4 GB and it is 80486. Suppose memory is 4 GB available but processor is very slow, then memory is sufficient higher and processor is processing speed is less, then in this case also processing will be slow. So we see that for the fast processing, processor must be fast and memory must be high. Now one more question: if processor is fastest and memory is highest, then again question is whether the processing will be fast. Again question is whether the processing will fast. No, it will depend on the, it will also depend on the number of processes in memory. If number of processes are higher, then process will also slow. So for the fast processing, processor must be faster, memory must be higher, and number of processes also decide the processing speed of the system. So these three factors affect make the effect of the speed of the processing. Next in next lecture we will cover our secondary memory unit. This time I covered RAM, ROM and processor. Thank you.